My name is Tim Duboyce. I went to Humber journalism. I graduated in 1997. Today I'm a consultant and principal of Tim Duboyce Communication and Strategies. This is my Humber story. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got as a student was to always think about your audience and the notion of service. And I'll never forget learning the critical importance of not ever making the story about yourself, but making it about the audience and the public that you serve. My time at Humber led to an incredible odyssey I spent at CBC. And CBC is an amazing organization because it's got digital, it's got radio, it's got television, it's got podcasts. And so there was a universe of possibilities, and I got to apply my skills learned at Humber in such a variety of ways that, in a sense, over a time of almost 20 years, I had multiple careers at CBC, thanks in large part to what I learned at Humber. I got to report on the news. I was a political correspondent in Quebec City for many years. I was a fill-in host on local programs in Montreal, as well as national programs broadcast out of Toronto on a regular basis. I was a senior producer of different news programs at CBC, and it was an incredibly rich and gratifying experience. So at one point in my career, after about 20 years in journalism, I decided to make a change, and I started working in communications and public relations in a variety of different settings, including corporations, but also charities. And what made that possible for me was the dexterity of the skill sets that I learned at Humber. Because when you learn to be a journalist, what you may not realize is that empowers you to do many, many other things in communications. Because ultimately, communications is about being truthful, and it's about helping other people tell their story. I've worked with leaders of organizations in transportation, in agri-food, and in the restaurant industry, to name but a few. And they're so focused on moving passengers, on preparing products, on getting guests into their restaurant that they don't have time to sit and really think about what their story should look like, how it should sound, and how to best get it across to their audience. So to be able to join them, listen to them, hear what their story sounds like to them, and then take my magic pen and transform that into a tale that can be shared with the public and inspire other people is truly the most gratifying part of my life. Well, one thing I'd say to anybody looking at starting a career in journalism is to not be afraid of the unknown. Journalism is all about exploration and learning, ultimately. And as a career, unlike many others, it's sort of like building the plane as you fly it, because you can get off the ground, but there are so many aspects of that voyage that you're on that you can only learn once you're underway. So when you head out into the world, take those lessons you learn in the classroom, but remember to always have the humility to realize that you're always going to be learning something new from somebody who knows more than you. I'm Tim Duboyce, and I'm a proud Humber grad.